Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is Dealer AI Week, a new initiative from Automotive Management. I'm joined today by Peter Jones, Principal Product Lead at Autotrader. Hi, Peter. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Tim. No problem. Looking forward to it.
Excellent. Well, we're going to talk about the road ahead, envisioning the future of AI in automotive retail. Autotrader has been investing heavily in AI for motor retail, and its team of data scientists and engineers launched a co-driver suite of AI tools earlier this year, which helps dealerships with their marketing. So I'm interested in hearing what Autotrader thinks the future holds. So, Peter, let's go into that. Thinking of the end of the decade and even kind of thereafter, what do you expect the key developments in AI to be?
It's a great question. I think it's always quite tricky to kind of predict. I think it's a space where things are developing so fast, and that's only going to increase. So I think we are going to see quite a lot of change over the next decade. I think there'll be key developments from both the retailer and consumer angle. So from the kind of buying and selling position, I think there's going to be quite a lot of developments. And I think some of it, if you look at it from kind of the technology side, I think there's probably two things in particular that I think are going to drive a lot of the AI solutions that we're going to see in that period. I think the first is the agentic AI solutions. These are going to offer kind of greater autonomy and be more goal-driven type tools. If you think about tools like you mentioned our co-driver tool, they're probably quite reflective of where the technology is at the minute, where AI tools are built for a singular purpose to help with to optimize a specific task. Whereas what I think we're going to see with the more agentic AI solutions is you're going to see tools that are built to kind of help with more complex business problems and to look at, offer a kind of a more broader solution than just kind of optimizing for a specific task. So I think that's going to be quite an interesting space. I think the other side of it is more the kind of multimodal AI, and that's where the tools I think are just going to improve, where they're able to work with all kinds of data inputs. So text, images, video, audio, all of those different types of data sources can be used in combination with each other. And that should hopefully unlock some really exciting solutions for retailers and for consumers.
Absolutely, because on that, currently AI tools tend to, my experience of it, Peter, is that they tend to work kind of in isolation from each other, and actually the future is when it's more joined up and they're able to provide much more useful business intelligence and capability.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and that is kind of when you think about like some of the tools that we've built ourselves, like with Co-Driver. The approach we took with that is we focused really in on where some of the tools could really help retailers in the more short term. What are some of the more immediate problems that they can help with, whether it's administrative tasks, improved marketing, that kind of thing. And so we built tools that are really kind of optimized to help with that specific task. I think the world we're going into is where these tools are much broader, and that you're potentially going to have multiple AI systems or multiple AI powered tools working together, which isn't something we generally see. There are some examples of it, but generally, it's, as you say, things are developed to help with a particular task. And I think we're gonna move away from that over the next few years, where AI is basically going to be in pretty much all the tools that retailers and consumers are using, and they're working together rather than in isolation.
Okay, so on that, the opportunity ahead, what do you see the opportunity for AI in terms of helping dealers understand what they should be selling, kind of when they should be selling it, and how they can make optimal profit? It's long been said to me by dealer bosses that they want to know whether they should be selling car A here or whether it should be 25 miles down the road at another site. Will they have those solutions?
I think they will. Yeah, I think that's essentially where the development direction is going. I think if you think about the journey we've been on in, say, the last decade, it's been about data transparency, giving retailers a better understanding of what's happening in the marketplace. And that's been delivered through tools and metrics of like, measuring things like supply and demand, pricing trends that are happening in the marketplace, geographically where are vehicles best positioned. And there's loads of kind of really rich, great data out there. And what we've seen is actually some of the larger retailers have invested in technology. They've invested in even within workforces. So you mentioned like the data science team we have at Autotrader. Some of the largest retailers we work with, they have their own data science teams. That's the journey that they've been on in the last kind of 10 years or so. And that need has arisen from, as retailers have got access to more and more kind of rich, useful data. The next challenge then becomes how do you best make sense of that? How do you interpret that into a profitable business strategy that is more outcome driven? So you can, you've got a goal that you're working towards, and it's how does that data help you achieve that goal? And the way that need is being met at the minute is with, really smart teams of people looking at that data and giving guidance and consultancy on like how to best interpret that information. And I think we're going to see tools come into the market which are going to try to automate and make that even easier. There's a lot of retailers who can't afford, to have their own, data science teams. And so you're going to see like a democratization, I think, of that intelligence and that capability. That's really what those tools are going to unlock, is that even, your smallest independent retailers who may even be trading out of, there may be home traders or something like that. If they choose to, there will be tools that they can buy that will even help, somebody who can't, develop their own technology platforms. They'll be able to take advantage of the information that's out there.
Yeah, so for the smaller groups, you'll have resources at hand that you could never imagine kind of 5-10 years ago, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and making sense of it. I mean, a big challenge is is understanding when different data sets are telling you different parts of what's happening. So you could be looking at market supply and demand data as one data set, and then maybe looking at historical pricing trends. And it can be quite difficult to kind of build a picture from that in terms of like what decisions you should take, what are the recommendations you should take. And that's where the AI tools will be really helpful, because they'll be able to take in, rich data sets and be able to get you closer to an answer with less kind of manual analysis needed.
Okay, fantastic. Very fascinating. So obviously, we're an industry with the consumer at the heart of it. We want customers to be able to buy and maintain their cars as easily as they want to. What do you see AI delivering for the consumer? What are the benefits to them?
I think there's going to be a few. I think some of them are going to be, I suppose, more kind of headline grabbing, eye catchy. You're going to see, new consumer experiences pop up in retailer showrooms. So, things like AI powered kind of point of sale kind of tools. So like when you're looking at the vehicle, there might be video or kind of graphical type tools that you can play with as a consumer to really understand what owning that vehicle is like, as well as doing a more kind of traditional test drive. Some of those tools may even be offered on retailer websites. So even before you turn up physically at the dealership, there's an opportunity for you to understand more about the vehicle before you make the trip to the retailer. And they'll be the things which are probably going to be more headline grabbing, because they seem a bit futuristic, a bit kind of next generation kind of technology. But I think for more practical terms, you're going to see, I think, removal of kind of friction from the buying experience. I think you're going to get a more tailored experience, something which is less kind of built for the mass market and can actually be more personalized to you as a buyer. Like, what are your vehicle preferences, things like that, and that information being used, whether it's just searching for a vehicle on a marketplace like Autotrader. Like, we already use AI, for example, for our search experience, but there's great potential in terms of where that could go even further, in terms of making you feel more empowered as a consumer. When you're, a lot of people only, purchase a car every few years, and it can be quite a daunting experience. If you've not done it for a few years, things have moved on since maybe the last time you bought a vehicle. And so, there can be a lot of things that you hadn't experienced before, whether it's like car buying services and things like that. And I think the AI tools will help ease that for consumers, just so that they have a greater feeling that they're in control of their buying journey, and it's more personalized to them, and so the benefits will hopefully be hopefully a less stressful experience than maybe it's been traditionally.
Absolutely, that personalization is going to be key, isn't it? Consumers want, as you say, they don't buy cars very often. When they do, they want it to be easy and they want it to be fun, even, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's hopefully what you get, is that you know, if you've ever bought a car from a retailer, and you go to collect the keys and you drive the car away, it is a really great experience. And for a lot of people, it's the second biggest outlay financially that they'll make. So we want people to kind of enjoy that experience, and sometimes some of the things that the journey you need to go on to reach that point, it can be, there can be quite a bit of friction there, and hopefully we can smooth that out with some of the kind of tools and experiences that can be added into that buying process.
Absolutely. Just a final point, Peter, the dealer workforce. So what can groups do to ensure that their workforce is embracing AI?
I think there's a few things. I think what is quite important is, and this does differ based on the type of retail and the size and makeup of their workforce, but I think having a bit of a strategy and a bit of forethought around how you want to adopt the technology. I think there's a kind of a proliferation of options out there in terms of AI tools, and to be honest, that's probably only going to increase over time. There's going to be more tools coming up, whether it's pricing, sourcing tools, chatbots, lead management solutions. There's going to be a lot of kind of AI powered tools out there. So really thinking up front, like where some of these tools will really benefit your business, and having a bit of a strategy for what's the right technology to invest in. And as we touched on earlier, like where the investing in technology that can potentially work together in the future as well. So that you don't get these kind of silos of kind of technology within your business operation, and with that strategy, being transparent about that with the workforce around how you're adopting AI tools, as hopefully as an aid for the workforce. We don't want to make anybody's lives kind of more difficult by just introducing more and more kind of computer systems and things like that they need to interact with and understand. Ideally, if done well, it kind of remove some of the administrative tasks that are maybe not the most fun tasks to do, and hopefully help your whether it's your salespeople kind of excel at the sales process, whether it's delivering that kind of more tailored, personalized sales experience when people come to the forecourt. There's these types of things which there's going to be changes to roles, I think, in terms of what that means, hopefully for the positive, because it is less administration and more interacting with customers, offering that more kind of tailored, personalized experience. I think that's an example of where the real benefits of the technology can be seen and experienced by the workforce. So I think, having a bit of a plan around how you want to adopt the technology, and kind of being transparent with the workforce around how you're looking to introduce some of these tools, I think will be really helpful.
Absolutely, and it's technology that, as you say, there's only going to be more and more of it, and more levels of choice and complexity in the market. But ultimately, the technology is to make the job simpler. So it's much to keep an eye on for the future. Fantastic. Thank you for your insights there, Peter. Some really useful thoughts. Thank you very much. Viewers, just to wrap up, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, there's plenty more content on AM Online and our social media channels this week for our Dealer AI Week. So thank you for watching.